the market was bouncing towards that bullish breakout. On a shorter time span, we broke higher. Market was breaking higher. It's not only one asset, you look at others. A lot of these assets are breaking higher and bullish territory, showing you that bullish continuation with these patterns and the probability of these running higher. But at the same time, you get a bad news. 600 million in Ether was stolen along with USDT. So that is not a good news on a shorter time span. So where did this hack happen? It happened in RONIN network, which is connected to Axie Infinity game platform. So now you are like, okay, what was that? It was 173,000 Ether stolen, and then 25 million in US dollars. Now these are actually big amount. That particular platform is getting impacted. But look back. You, me, and anyone maybe in the future will have these issues, but make sure you move your funds, majority of them, into a ledger where you are safe. It's your key, it's your asset, it's out of the network, right? Make sure you do that. Now, the question of this hack stopping this bull run, maybe not. Now, you may definitely get a scenario like this where, yeah, we break higher, we are staying upside, but we may actually drop down and then go back up. But the genie is already out of the bottle. You can see that we are breaking higher. We are making a new trend with higher high, higher low, where we are, getting volume too. We are moving to the upside with positive volume. So now if you are looking at this and comparing the bull market with it, yeah, short term, you're going to get volatility. Back in 2017, we had a lot of these issues. 30,000 customers and Bitcoin was affected. And then if you are looking at first one year, 7 million worth of Ether, that's another fraud happened, which again, next one, 8.4 million based on Ether platform. So you go here and you're like, okay, everything is related to Ether. Ooh, that doesn't actually look for that particular network. Now here, the current one happens in the RONIN network. So what is a RONIN network? You go look at that and you're like, okay, that's a side chain based on Ethereum blockchain. Okay, so you're like, okay, the world is building on Ether, and you see majority of the hacks in the history is on that particular platform. Wow, that's it's really hard to digest that even after all this, the world is building on that. But that's another discussion. You come back here, look at the price, and you're like, okay, fine, that's happening, and I may get a correction. Now, that correction should be fine, because if you are actually going in to the chart and look at this, yeah, 20-day moving average, we just broke that one higher. If you are changing that one into a different indicator, say, for example, here, you'll actually put that back to 50-day moving average on a weekly, which is super important, because if you are able to break above 50-day moving average, that is great, because now you are not only changing the small time horizon, the trend there, you are changing it into a different category. So now this actually intends to show you, okay, fine, your 20-day moving average is like this, and your 50-day moving average is moving to the upside. Both of them are being pierced by the price in this particular occasion. Great. So what does that actually mean? Look at the MACD. It's crossing to the upside. Great news. Then look at the RSI. It's near breakout. So all of these are bullish news in the market, in the history of price fluctuation. As we are looking for the recent past, these are all good news for us. But this kind of news may actually come and, shake the market. This is now really new, it's fresh. We don't know how people are going to digest these, but it can also be something like this, where you had this and a counter trend which broke to the upside, showing the trend is not changing. That can happen. But even if it's like a retest and bounce, that's great. So first, for a scenario where you're going to come back and retest and then bounce, because that is what you really want, because that's what you have seen in Zcash. Similar pattern, you broke higher, came back, retested, and bounced. Now there are other assets like Ethereum Classic. It broke higher, it's making a flag pattern there. Now we don't know whether it's going to come retest and then bounce, but as of now it shows like it's going for a bull flag pattern. Now we'll have to see what evolves out of that one, but it's bullish. So the hack here is not going to stop your wave to run up, because if you are going onto a long term scenario looking at this, you are literally like, okay, the price broke this resistance, trend line resistance, this particular one. Say, let me change the color for you guys. Here, this one you broke that, you came back, retested and bounced. As you were going higher, you had many different levels of resistance. So first one, here it's broken. Second one, here it's broken. Now we are testing this one, which happened to be, if you are zooming out, that happens to be a long-term resistance range in a horizontal scenario. So now, yeah, you should be getting some resistance there, but at the same time, the bad news also hit the market. So it's like, you may have a correction, you may have a retest. So what can literally happen there? You are now here, so you may come down to this level of support and then bounce. Or even it can also be, a little bit different. So you come down, you kind of double test that area and then bounce. We don't know what the scenario is going to be, but be prepared to see corrections in this market. You zoom out, you look at what happened in the past when we were coming to the upside. You were literally getting the corrections every now and then. Even if you don't have these news where it is showing you big hacks, you definitely get these corrections, slowdowns, consolidation. That's healthy. People need to take profit. Otherwise, the market will directly go to the upside and then drop. We don't want that. We need a healthy market growing with profit to the upside, where you have people taking profits, new people entering the market. So the new volume of money is coming in with the stable pool of money. That's another long intro, but yes, I definitely wanted you guys to understand that hacks in cryptocurrency market is not new. It does happen over and over again. Right now it's based on Ether. Now it happened in Axie Infinity, right? But look at the actual scenario. Ether, the volume is 22 billion. Now that's not a small deal, that's big, right? We have to understand that market dynamics, where you are looking at what's happening and doing the proper stuff, right? Because yeah, here we had 600 million and it's just 2022 starting. You have a long way to go for more hacks. Now that's why I'm saying, take your money, put it into a safe place. Let it be ledger, let it be whatever you want, use it. Because in 2021, it's estimated that it's 4 billion in cryptocurrencies which were stolen. So make sure your item is safe. So with that, welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. So guys, yes, XRP right now is in this particular range where you had the standard deviations of your trend line resistance. So you are still inside that, you haven't actually broken higher. The market is moving up, so I can definitely understand there would be some kind of stress for those who are just holding this asset. That's one of the reasons why I suggest look at the market. It does show you opportunity. So if you are taking 5% of your portfolio and trade 5 different assets, your risk is low, and in general it can give you more reward, because we don't know which particular coin is going to run high first. But based on history, we understand one thing clearly. You, me, and anyone who looks at this chart is for sure that based on history of price fluctuation of XRP, it does tend to move in the last 30% of time in that cycle. Till that point, you are consolidating, you are doing nothing, you are trying to absorb the supply. The price is still in that territory. So if you are looking for something, you do have to look at the market. There's a lot of different assets. It may help you to achieve the number of units of XRP which you want to buy when you're taking profits from that, or you can diversify into different assets, not heavily. It can be a top loaded approach. So right now when you're looking at the market, even including Ether, any big coin, they like BTC, we broke higher. Fine, this is Ether, you broke higher. This is BTC, you broke higher. So right now in Ether, when you are considering, okay, you do have a market dynamics where it can be an Adam and Eve pattern, or it can be a symmetrical wedge where you are slowly breaking to the upside. Fine, look at the RSI, it actually suggests the same. You are going to break, you are going to run higher. So you had the retest, you bounced, and you are moving upside, which is, great. So with this news, there can be a slowdown. So for that, you can go into your favorite platform, let it be Coin Paprika, Live Coin Watch, Coin Market Cap, anything else. Look at the money coming back into these stable coins. Look at the volume in stable coins. If the volume in stable coins are increasing dramatically, that does mean people are preparing for something, maybe for a week or 3-4 days, who knows. Because of this news, once it's spreading, there can be a negativity, there can be a correction in the market. Now, no one actually knows what's exactly going to happen, but you can think about it and prepare, right? That's one of the reasons why we actually look at all this. Because right now, say for example, if you are looking at the Bitcoin dominance, to consider, okay, what's the altcoin market doing right now? It's still staying here. We haven't actually broken higher. We are still inside this particular pattern. We've been waiting for this one to either break to the upside or to the downside for a long time, and we are still here. We are still here. We are not breaking to the upside, we are not breaking to the downside, and the pattern kind of ends by May. Now, I don't personally think we are going to wait till May to either break higher or break lower, because right now you are having a market dynamics where you are trending to the upside. Your next targets are much higher than where it is right now for a lot of different assets, which indicates, okay, fine. If you are looking at this, you are like, okay, the market as a whole is trending to the upside. You do get corrections, but the market is moving to the upside. You understand that market dynamics. And then you're coming down here at a point where you're like, okay, we do tend to get a lot of wicks. Now, if you are looking at Ether directly, you kind of get that comparison, right? Okay, fine. On a short term, the market is slowing down, but macro scenario, you are still moving higher. Now you can actually go on to a weekly chart. Short term, yes, you are getting a correction. You're going to move towards the moving average here, most likely, and then bounce. But with the current news, we don't know. We may even come back down to that $3,000 mark and then retest this particular trend line, which we have broken recently. So that's another possibility which you may not actually, kind of take out from the market. But with the current breakout and run higher, there is a big probability. There's a lot of people going against the market with leverage. They're going to buy in with leverage. They're going to, put their crypto, take loan, and then buy more. Now, these kind of scenarios going to push your risk level to the upside, trying to increase your reward structure. But what if the market decides, okay, I'm going to first test the support, and if it's strong, then I'm going to bounce. So eventually you'll be proven correct, but the timing would be bad and the leverage would have kicked you out. So you don't really want to be in that position where the market is in your favor long term or medium term, but short term you're kicked out of the market, right? So always look at different assets in your portfolio. Look at their price structure in short, medium, and long term. Ensure you're not doing stupid, risky stuff in the portfolio, because this is wave 2 where the price is going to go up and it's also going to drop every now and then. Even during a bull market, you see these kind of corrections every now and then. Look at that. That was like 33% drop, 42% drop. So now, just as an example, while you are looking at one asset, when it's running higher, when it's trending higher, you are getting these corrections. So if you are using a trading stop loss, that's not bad. You ensure you make profit, but that's not going to give you that ballooning effort so that your portfolio goes that 10, 20, 30x, because the market is always going to come back down to test this range. Now you can actually adjust that manually. You can understand, okay, fine, this is the trend line. What I'll do is keep 5% below the trend line, so that even if it drops, the trend changes, I'm fine. Because if you are looking at this, yes, at this particular point, trend changed, but you took profit. Great, that's not bad. So that's something which you all have to keep in mind. That one of the reasons why we do these updates on a regular basis for all of the major assets in the Patreon, along with the monthly digest, looking for what is a wave 2 target, what is a wave 3 target possibility. Now, wave 3 target may change with the correction of wave 2. We don't know how that goes in. If it's a 60% correction instead of 90, that's a different story. You're going to get more upside. If it's a 90% correction instead of a 60, now the upside would be reduced. So all these dynamics has to be priced in if you are trying to look at. Now it can be based on Elliott wave principle. It can be based on pattern analysis. It can be based on trend analysis, right? Now you get multiple target for multiple type of analysis. But knowing these targeted region and your average allow you one way or the other to actually identify, okay, where you would be and mentally prepare for that and take profits there. Even if you're going higher, you still have a little bit in the market. So you are taking that as profit at that point and averaging up, which is positive, instead of market dumping on you and you are not taking profit. That's what happened for a lot of guys last year, April, May. We don't want that to repeat this May, June when we are going to peak out, right? So if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want updates regularly for these charts, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. But again, I would suggest jump on 1st of next month in your time horizon. That would be the best. Okay guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.